Hi, greetings to everyone. I invite you all to IHE 2020. My name is Prem Kumar Pugakula. I work as Executive Chef at the Imperial New Delhi. Welcome to all to Master Culinary class in association with Indian Culinary Forum. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple fish dish where you can walk into your kitchens, you see your ingredients, what's available in the kitchen, and you can start cooking. You don't need any exotic ingredients to cook a nice, healthy and tasty dish. You just need to have a sense of idea of your ingredients, what you're cooking, and your dish is ready. Today I'm going to show you a fish dish in 3 to 4 different steps where you can easily cook it. So my dish would be dukka dusted red snapper with some shiitake broth and fondant beetroot. So for this dish, I had chosen some of the ingredients where I'm going to show you. This is a nicely fresh red snapper which is gutted, scaled and deboned and filleted. So this is actually the main protein we're going to use in this dish. So this is the star item for the dish. So you have to make sure that this dish or this fish doesn't overpower with any spices or more of the spices. It should get succulent flavors in it. For that I am using some fresh thyme, salt, black pepper, some lemon rind to marinate it. This is the first step where I'm going to marinate the fish, and then I'm going to show you how to make shiitake and coriander broth. So this is also very Asian infused broth where this goes very good with your fish dish. And then simultaneously we'll be cooking beetroot with some butter and some thyme and some stock. So these 3 dishes we'll put together and we can make it a wonderful dish. So you can start with the marination of the fish. Before marinating fish, I just want to tell you what is dukka. Dukka is technically a spice and nut mixture which is mostly used in Egypt. So this mixture got some almonds, walnuts, cashew nuts, sesame seeds, some fresh coriander seeds, some fresh coriander also, and then I had used some cumin seeds. So these are freshly grounded and coarsely grinded. I had used some cornflakes also which I found in my kitchen so that it gives a little bite when you eat the fish. So that is the main star item when you finish the dish. Before we start, we just need to pat dry the fish so that we're taking off the excess moisture. Okay, this is our fresh fish. It got nice descaled. I have given some cuts to it so that the marination or the spices what we're adding will go deep into it. So to marinate this, very simple ingredients, just add some salt on top, some black pepper, some lemon rind, be generous on lemon rind because it gives nice sweet and bitter taste to your fish. I mean, I like the way my fish has to be little bitter when you eat it, and just leave 1 or 2 thyme leaves in between and a dash of olive oil in between. And now you have to keep the fish on one top of another, and again the same process starts. Some salt, some black pepper, some rind on top, again some salt, some black pepper on top, and lemon rind, some olive oil, some thyme in between so that your flavors are intact. So your fish marination is done at very first stage. And now we're going to make a nice shiitake mushroom and coriander root broth. And again for this, you need very simple ingredients where you buy a fresh coriander bunch where normally we throw these roots. So I'm going to use these roots as a broth. And some dried shiitake mushrooms which are soaked overnight in some warm water and to extract extra flavor in it. And I'm using some fresh ginger, which are julienne. That's it. So we are making a broth out of it, which is be the main sauce. It works as a sauce as well as a soup to mix in with the soup, with the fish course. Okay, to do this, need little olive oil to the pan. We are just adding oil just to saute the mushrooms and the coriander roots. Don't add too much oil, otherwise it makes your sauce or the broth very cloudy. So once your oil is slightly warm, just add some ginger to it. I mean, we are just taking out the flavors. I don't want the oil has to be too hot, otherwise it burns the ingredients. We are just sauteing it, nicely sweating the ingredients technically. So I'm just added some roughly chopped ginger, and I'm adding some coriander roots. And I'm adding some shiitake. These are dried shiitake mushrooms, which are julienne soaked. I mean, shiitake mushrooms, you have to extract the flavor to it, but don't add too much of shiitake mushrooms, otherwise it's overpower the fish. And I'm adding little salt to it. At the initial stage, so the salt acts as a dehydration medium for the ingredients which you are using it. See, already you can feel nice shiitake flavor coming out of the dish. And now what you're going to do, you're going to add some boiled water to it. So let it simmer for around 10 to 12 minutes so that the extract of all the ingredients what we added comes down and comes to the stock what we added. So I'm just adding some shiitake water, the same shiitake water where we have soaked our shiitake mushrooms. Let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes, let the flavors come out. So we're gonna grill the fish at the later stage once our the accompaniments are ready. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make fondant beetroots. Normally fondant beetroots, these are potato fondants. I just copied the same recipe. I just following up with the beetroot. For that what you need is a nice dollop of butter. Some fresh thyme to it. Maybe you can use some water or stock. I already peeled and pre-cut the beetroots into thin slices. So now what happens, once the water gets simmered, the butter gets melted, I'm going to add them to the water. So it's gonna stew inside the stock, and you get very nice sweet flavor of this beetroot. And I don't want to cook to the 100%, I'm going to leave it for around 80% so that you have a bite when you eat the fish. So once we are done with this rinsing, while we are preparing this, I'm going to tell you a small story, my personal experience, why I choose this dish and how to taste food, about the science of tasting the food. I'm going to share a small story once I'm done with these small things. That's very interesting, where it has changed my way of thinking of what is taste, what is food, how do we eat, and when to eat. And there is a saying, I always believe that there is no bad food which exists in any of the country or in the globe. It's not about what you eat, it's about how you eat and when you eat. That's the most important. And now we are mostly concentrating on what you are eating. I mean, everything which is edible, around the world. It's not about what you eat, it's about how you eat and when you eat. The water got simmering, the butter is melted. What am I going to do now? I'm going to add some beetroots to it. I'm not adding any salt to this dish at the moment because the butter what I added is a salted butter. So it's enough for the beetroots now at present to release its flavors. You see the beetroot, the water is already started changing the color. It's going to take around 12 to 15 minutes to get our desired texture. So this is the three steps what you're going to do first, and at last We're gonna toss some fresh asparagus, some artichokes, and I got some fresh sliced chestnuts with some garlic. So this would be our accompaniment with the fish dish. So while these are cooking, I'm gonna maybe start cooking fish in next 3 to 4 minutes. So once my beetroot is half done, then I start cooking the fish, because this fish will hardly take 6 to 7 minutes to cook. And okay, right. I'm just talking about the story. What I'm going to tell you. I was training in one of the best Japanese restaurants. So I was learning Japanese food, where I had to taste lots of sashimi, raw fish, raw tuna, raw salmon. So there was a very seasoned Japanese chef, around 65 years old, where I was training under him around like 10 years back. So he told me to eat raw salmon and raw fish, where I'm not a big raw fish eater, where I don't know how to taste it. I'm from South India, so I was very much into fish curries, which are spicy and all the stuff. When I told him the way I eat food, the way I like fish, then he said, like, this seasoned Japanese chef, and this guy told me, you had to learn how to taste fish. That's why, that was the time where I changed my mind, how to taste fish. Then he said, like, that was a breakfast time where we are having a discussion. So this guy told me, skip your lunch and dinner. So tomorrow morning, I'll teach you how to eat your tuna and salmon. So I said, like, right, there's some learning in my training classes. So I skipped my lunch, I skipped my dinner. So next day morning, I was really hungry. So I went to his room. I said, like, let's go out and eat something. I'm very hungry. He said, like, skip your breakfast. We're going for lunch, early lunch. So we'll start at 11 o'clock. So by the time I went, it was 11. I'm really starving. I'm hungry. So I went to him again, like, gentlemen, let's go. I'm very hungry. He said, like, half an hour, 1 more hour. And it took, like, it's almost like he kept me waiting till 4 p.m. And then we went to a Japanese restaurant. It was in Bangkok. So one of the Bangkok restaurant, I said, I think it's in Sofitel, Bangkok. So that time, he had ordered some raw tuna, where I'm not used to, and raw salmon, where I'm not used to. So that was the first time when I took my first bite of tuna. I can still remember the taste of my first bite of my tuna and salmon. So that's why I understood, the whole science of tasting food. For tasting food, you should be hungry. Your taste buds should be open. Only then you can taste the food. That's the time where I changed my mentality. That's the time where I learned. Where I was previously, by the time I was doing my training, I already had 10 years of cooking experience, where I was cooking food, I was tasting food, but not at par. So that was the time where I learned how to taste food. And it's been 10 years now where I tasted that tuna. I can still remember the flavors at my subconscious mind, even the salmon. So that's the time where I learned how to taste food. Even now, I follow the same theory what I learned 10 years back. I stay hungry to taste my food. If I am working on a new recipe or something like that, I make sure I skip 1 or 2 meals. So at the end of this, my training at the Japanese restaurant, so what I learned is the 4 things what I learned. To taste food or to eat food. Number 1, you should always be hungry to taste food. I'm not telling you that you have to skip 3 or 4 meals. I said at least you can skip 1 meal. And number 2, you should eat food as it is. If you are getting a raw fish on your table, you have to eat it as it is. If you're eating a tuna, you eat tuna as it is. Don't compare the tuna with something else. Or don't compare the tuna with your mom cooked fish curry or the best fish curry what's available in the market. You just eat tuna as it is. Eat food as it is. Number 2, what I say is don't compare your food with any other food. Because for every dish there are 200 recipes flying in the town. So every dish is different. Every taste is different. So don't compare food. If you have 2 best dishes on your table, if you compare it, one is good and one is bad. It doesn't mean that the other dish is bad. It is also a popular dish, but if you're comparing it, one is good and one is bad. So don't compare your food. Eat food as it is. And number 3, you stay hungry when you eat food. Okay, it's already 10-15 minutes now. We just check the beetroot. This is almost done. So now I'm just cooking it in high flame now. so that the water get evaporated and I can rightly sear it on the butter what is left over. So now we'll start our fish course, cooking the fish. We need little olive oil to go into it. Okay, by the time the oil is heated there, we can just check the beetroots. It got really nice color and it got the texture what we need. 60 to 70% already cooked, and this is the texture we need for this dish. This broth came out very good. The only thing what's missing is little seasoning. When you see the beetroots now, the water is almost evaporated. The butter what we added here, it started drizzling now. So water is, you see this nicely, you have the nice cream consistency of your stock and the butter what you added now. So I don't want to mix this with other ingredients because this actually adds on more color to your dish. Let the water evaporate fully. Now the fish is hot, the oil is hot now. So this is the time to sear the fish. Leave the fish at a medium temperature on olive oil, with olive oil actually, at one side for around, I would say like around a minute or so that you have light brown color at one side and then flip it. So our beetroot is also almost ready now. It got nice texture. The water is almost evaporated. We just left is the butter, clarified butter. So now your beetroots are actually pan frying inside. Where we started with the stewing and the water is evaporated, now we are pan frying the beetroots in the same stock. So the flavors in this are intact. Your stock is ready, your fish is grilling, your stock is ready, your beetroots are ready. The only thing what we need to do is we have to toss some artichokes, chestnuts and some asparagus to go with it, and then we're going to plate it. Actually this is, I mean it depends on the fish, which fish you are choosing. I have chosen a fish which is like 600 grams in a whole, so that it doesn't need any oven or anything to cook. You can directly cook the fish in the pan itself. So once you have a nice golden color at one side, just flip your fish. Okay, now this is exactly what we are looking at. The beetroots are stewed and pan seared in the same butter what we added now. You can switch off. These are done. Your broth is done. Now we are just concentrating on the fish. So once the fish is cooked, we're going to toss them. Once the fish is, you get your desired color at the other side and then top. Now this is the time you add little more butter to it. I'm going to add some garlic so that it gives more power and maybe a thyme more. And I'm going to cover the fish with the same melted butter so that the flavors are intact inside. In the culinary term, we call it as a spooning. So leave it there for around a minute or so. So this is very simple fish marinated. It's got little garlic flavor at the finishing, and you have little bitterness of lemon rind to it, and of course thyme and butter flavor is. I'm going to take it out when you plate it, because you don't need this, because it comes in your mouth when you eat it. Your fish dish is almost done, so it's going to take maybe around 90 to 120 seconds to cook it inside. Okay, now the fish is cooked perfectly the way we need it. You can link it got the crispy skin. Fish is cooked to the perfect. It got all the flavors what we need. we are almost done all the 4 steps. Number 1, the fish is ready there, our broth is ready, our vegetables are ready, our fondant beetroots are ready. So post this, now we'll start doing our plating. Now before dishing out, the beetroots are soft, you can see it. I just want to take out the excess fat it got, and I'm going to arrange them on the plate. And you have to do this very quickly because we don't want the beetroot has to turn into cold. So when you're plating it, they have to be still hot. Now if you're done with the beetroots, you have to arrange your asparagus, some garlic and chestnuts, and you're going to have to plate your crispy seared fish on top of it. Make sure you take out all your excess thyme or marination which is there on top of it. Nice fish on top, and then I'm going to add lots of the broth what you have made. Make sure you check your seasoning before applying to the putting on the plate. Make sure you add enough stock to it. And the twist to the dish is the dukka spice. As I told you, this spice is technically roughly grinded nuts and seeds or spices to go on top of it. It gives a nice bite when you're eating fish. And garnish fish, fresh coriander on top. And some chili, and some tomato sauce, dashed on top. Okay, this is our final dish, which is dukka spiced pan-seared red snapper with some shiitake mushroom broth and fondant beetroot. I would thank everyone, especially IHE 2020 and Indian Culinary Forum, which gave me a great opportunity to show my culinary skills. And before signing off, and again I'll tell you, before trying out any meal or before eating any meal or any food, just try to keep 3 basic things in mind. Number 1, don't compare your food with any other dishes. Eat food as it is and stay hungry before you eat food. Thank you very much, one and all.